LeBron James is
He is indeed money. And to discuss all things LeBron and all things NBA, I've got on the airwaves of Radio Azad right now my good buddy and a wonderful basketball mind, Manny from Kansas City. Manny, welcome, man. How's it going?
Going well, my friend. How are you?
it's I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Look, hey, there's there's been some craziness, and first before we get started on what's actually happening, I wanna I wanna admit, I do tend to boast about things that I get right in the sports world, and there's there is a good bit of things that I get right. But boy, oh boy, did I get the NBA playoffs wrong. I didn't think the Lakers were going to get past Houston without Luca and Austin Reeves. They did. Now, Reeves came back for a couple of games, but they did. I did not think. Um, I thought that the Denver Nuggets had a shot of coming out of the West. Uh, that didn't happen. Minnesota
Uh-huh.
had other ideas. But boy, most importantly, now on this one, I think we were all pretty much united that nobody really in the East had a chance against the Celtics. The way they had dominated without Tatum, and then Tatum came back, and they were just monsters. I mean, defensive monsters, scoring at will. We didn't think anybody was going to give them any competition at all. Not only were they given competition by the side, but it happened right there in the first round by the 76ers, who were given no shot by anyone. And in historic context, right? They were down 3-1 and won three straight, beat the Celtics. And as I said, down go the Celts and long live the process.
Hmm.
How the heck did this happen? What did the Sixers do to neutralize the Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The Sixers have had a Celtics curse for I don't know how many seasons now. That's to keep stopping them. I think in Game Seven, what happened? Honestly, they didn't have Tatum, which is huge.
Yeah.
He was still out with that injury, and yeah, the process maybe it's finally coming to fruition. Joel Embiid, he had a massive game, and Tyrese Maxey. I mean, that guy is the engine that makes the 76ers go. They played amazing together. But yeah, it's. I'm surprised as you as well. I did not think the Sixers were going to get past the Celtics, let alone being down three games to one. It's a huge comeback for them, and hopefully they've got that monkey off their back. But they've got a tough New York Knicks squad that has an extra day to rest. So that's going to be a very interesting series as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're going to get to the Knicks in a minute and what they did, making. Oof, I mean, they surprised me a little bit in a good way. But yeah, so I understand Tatum wasn't there, but the Celtics dominated what 4/5 of the season
Yeah.
without Tatum. Uh, did you? Was it just I know you mentioned Embiid just dominating, and he did. Kudos to him. Look, he has rightfully been given the moniker Mr. Glass, right? Somebody was saying that that whole um, ball incident with the assistant coach of the Celtics that happened between Embiid and them. There were online trolls were joking. They're like, I'm surprised he didn't get injured trying to trying to do that. But look, part of it is deserved, right? I mean, he has been banged up, he has been injured a lot, and he just kind of reminded everyone when healthy, he is an absolute force. Now, I understand, as Shep always says, if you're not present, you can't. The best part of playing is is participating, and if he can't stay healthy, if he can't participate, then that's how good is the talent if you're not on the court. But boy, he was on the court for this series, these last 3 games, 3 straight victories by the 76ers, and just closing out the Celtics, not just for the year, but what does that mean for the long term, man? They're in the second apron. I mean, they have to start seriously thinking about cutting payroll and dropping down, and maybe breaking up the team at this point. I mean, where do the Celtics go from here?
Yeah, I think they definitely have a off season to consider. Coach Mazzulla, I one of the things I was really surprised at when he put in he mixed up the starting lineup, right? And the starting lineup, I think they were scoreless. Shireman, what was the other guy's name?
Yeah,
Can't
I
Yeah,
mean, it was
they were scoreless, and really their threes, man, they were not hitting their threes as they have been all season. That's what really did them in. But you can't say enough about Tyrese, man. Tyrese Maxey for the Sixers. He's had 30 plus games the last 2 games, game 6 and game 7. I think him along with a dominant Embiid is what did it, along with the fact that you did not have Tatum and you did not have your threes falling. But yeah, it was quite a surprise to see the Sixers come away with a win here.
I want to talk about Tyrese Maxey.
Hmm.
We talk about the process and how the process has finally worked. Tyrese Maxey was not part of the process. 21st pick, 21st pick, 20 teams passed up on him. If we were to redo that draft right now, who's gonna
He
pass?
going definitely in the top 5. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He's a great player. He's been really coming along, honestly, and I think that's the ingredient. You thought Paul George, he's been a good addition to the team as well for the 76ers, and he had a decent 13 points. In game
Yeah. I
7.
mean, he's not the
Yeah,
PG-13
really,
of
for me,
old.
it's Maxey is the reason that I think they came away with this win.
Man, if only I feel like I say this a lot with my teams. Maybe I just need to be like one of those fans who just switch teams every couple of years, whoever's winning. But he's a Dallas guy. He's a Dallas kid from South Garland, and I don't know if the Mavs had gotten him, where would that Mavs team be with a nucleus of Maxey? And now I understand there's so many dominoes, and if they had Maxey, would they have Kyrie, and would they have gotten the first over? I understand, but boy, as a fan of the Mavs, just the thought of having a young nucleus of Tyrese Maxey and Cooper Flag,
Oh yeah.
I mean, that would be the dream. But yeah, maybe we can figure out a way to bring him home back to Dallas somehow. But the 76ers ain't letting him go, man.
No way.
21st pick is just mind-boggling to me. By the way, I know we talk about fantasy football. So I do a lot of my fantasy football, which is the only fantasy sport I've ever played for years and years. Never got into baseball, never got into basketball. Just too involved. Even though when I'm doing fantasy football, it's 24/7, right? But at least I use the argument that baseball and basketball are just too involved. I have to do too much. So I've never done it until this year. I don't know if I accidentally clicked on something or if they auto enrolled me into some basketball league, but all of a sudden, just as the football playoffs were starting in January, I saw in my list of teams on Yahoo Sports, all of a sudden there was this team that I didn't recognize. I was like, what the heck is this? I click on it, and it's a basketball league that I had been enrolled in. Obviously, I had no clue, so it auto drafted. I got a bunch of, I got lucky with a couple of players. And then I did a bunch of savvy free agent moves. Initially, I was like, who enrolled me? I don't want to do this. But then, me, once I'm in, by the time I noticed it was week 3, and I was sitting at 1-1. I had won 1 week, I had lost the next week, and then I was in this third week when I realized, and I had to learn on the fly because I was like, what the heck? What am I supposed to do? I had 12 players, and for the first 2 weeks, I didn't even understand. So what it does is, however many games during a week that your player has, it gives you credit for the highest scoring of the games. But I didn't even realize that until week 5, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I want to maximize the game. So I'm putting in guys who have 5 games as opposed to 3 games. But long story short, Tyrese Maxey was one of the players that I did luck into. I had Cade Cunningham of Detroit and Tyrese Maxey. And I ended up, by week 5, once I realized what I was doing at that point, I think I was 2-3. And then I ran off. I only lost one more game the rest of the season and ended up winning that league. Now, it was a bunch of, I think it was some sort of they unknowingly rolled a bunch of good fantasy football players into this league. Maybe it was a 12-person league, and 2 or 3 of the teams weren't even paying attention. But still, end up winning. But the point is, I'm not saying I'm such a great basketball fantasy player. It's that I was gifted Tyrese Maxey. And Maxey, after missing about a month, came back and just carried me to the playoffs and the victory. He's a monster, and what he did in this series is just insane.
Yeah, man, he almost had a triple-double in Game 7. 30 points. 11 rebounds,
8 or 9,
assists.
7. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's a complete game. He's got the team involved, and I think Joel Embiid really appreciates having a point guard that can get the ball to him down low, because he was a monster in the paint.
All right, so let's take a look at everything else that's happening. So OKC beat Phoenix. Ho hum, no big deal. We expected it. It went exactly the way we expected. On the flip side of the Western Conference, the Spurs against Portland. Portland showed a little something, but still, the Spurs, too much, right? The other two, the 4-5 and the 3-6 series, are the surprises. So first, let's talk about your dude, your team, the Lakers, LeBron James, all 41 years old of him in his 21st or 22nd season, whatever that is. It's just insane stuff. Still performing at an extremely high level. What did you see in that series against the Rockets? What does that mean? I don't want to focus on the losing team too much, but there is a player named KD on that team with a lot of young talent. What does that mean? Is that getting blown up? Are they getting rid of KD now? And where do the Lakers go from here against OKC in the next round?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great win when they dropped 2 games to the Rockets. I was a little worried, I'll be honest, because I thought they was gonna sweep them, but yeah, the Lakers they did enough to get by. I mean, they had a good win. What was it, 98-78?
Yeah, I mean, to hold a team in today's NBA to 78 points.
Yeah,
it means you had just absolutely suffocating defense, but it also means, I think, that team has just given up. I don't know. Durant didn't even play in that game. I don't know if it was missing Durant. I don't know if they'd given up. I could not believe that they gave up only 78 points in that game. In today's NBA, that is insane.
Absolutely.
So did you see has Redick just learned somehow after 90% of the season to play defense, or was this more the Rockets choking and giving up?
I think honestly, they, without having KD, who's really the main marquee player on that squad, it was going to be a tough battle, especially the way LeBron has come out in that series. So yeah, being down so big, that kind of took a lot of the heart out of them. And really, if you look at the stats from that game, man, like none of their starters had a good game.
Yeah.
In fact, if I look at the scoring, like for the Rockets, J.R. Smith had, he only had 9 points, and The one player I was expecting at least 10 points was from Dorian Finney-Smith. He laid an egg. I mean, he had missed all his shots.
Could not
And
buy
Capella,
a three.
I honestly expect a lot out of Capella. He's a really good big man. He only had 2 points in the game. He didn't really get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, Şengün didn't get much done. Thompson. I mean, it's just down. Look, when your team scores 78 points in today's NBA, ain't nobody having a good game, right?
Right.
It's going to be rare where one person has a 30-point game and the rest of the team puts up 40. So yeah, I think as soon as you say 78 points scored, you're gonna go down the list and go down the roster and see bad game after bad game. Hey,
keep in mind the Rockets did have, obviously other than KD, they also had Steven Adams, who's been out all season. Fred Van Vliet, he's also been out all season. So they had some of their star players out. But so did Lakers, right? Without AR, we came back. Luka.
If you're missing, I don't think the Houston Rockets have the excuse of missing players when the Lakers are missing a Luka and an Austin Reeves.
Correct.
I hate to keep bringing this back to the Mavs, and back when that trade happened, I was shocked. I was angry. I was saying it should have never happened, but once I calmed down a couple of weeks later, it was how little came back for Luka, and Austin Reeves was my must-have. Like, he needed to be included in that deal, he wasn't, and he's turning into a star now. I don't know what your Lakers are going to do with him. He's an impending free agent. And at this point, he's played himself into a max contract. And can they give $52 million to LeBron and still have a max Luka and a max Austin Reeves, and then all the other money that they've got assigned? I think in this offseason, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but in this offseason, I think what LeBron does, if he picks up his option, they may not be able to sign Austin Reeves. Or they will be severely into the luxury tax if they do. So we'll see. But right now we've got a matchup: Lakers against OKC. How do you see this playing out?
Well, I mean, the defending champs OKC is on all cylinders. Lakers are still going to be missing Luka, from my understanding. I don't think it's going to be a sweep, but I'm looking at maybe a 4-1 win, so the Lakers may be lucky to get one win against OKC, to be honest.
I like
it's
this.
It's going to be a very tall task.
I like this new Manny. Very practical, very pragmatic.
It's going to be super hard, especially without Luka.
Yeah. Now, what's the word on Luka? Is he coming back, or is he just he's not going to be able to come back unless they get to the finals?
Yeah, I've heard some things about if he's going to be able to come back later. It's just it depends how long the series goes, but I think for now we certainly know he's not going to be in game one. I think it's kind of day to day with him.
Yeah,
he did get some practice in from what I heard, so hoping maybe later in the series he comes in, but he's certainly out this first game.
All right, okay. So the other side, and the disappointment, as far as I'm concerned, it's not just that the Nuggets lost.
Yeah,
it's how they lost. Right, Minnesota lost two of their starters in game 3, was it? Back to back, and not just any starters. Anthony Edwards, right? The other one, I can never say his name, DiVincenzo, whatever his name is. He's a good cog, an important cog, but that's all he is a cog. But Anthony Edwards is the heart and soul of that team, the superstar, the leader. You lose those two and still not just beat, but manhandled the Denver Nuggets. What just happened? Our friend Bill Simmons many years ago came up with a theory that he calls the Patrick Ewing theory. Right, you take the best player off the team, and the team tends to get better, because generally when you have a player like that, you're just standing around watching him perform. You're just standing around waiting for him to bail you out, waiting for him to put on the cape. That might be what's happening to the Bills a little bit, right? Is that what we saw at play? Because McDaniels comes
Jake
out.
McDaniels, yeah, he's becoming a star, man. In Anthony Edwards' absence, this guy stepped up. And also another player I really like his game is Terrence Shannon Jr.
Yeah.
This guy loves going to the bucket and slamming it for dunks. His together, both of them. I mean, in what was it? Game 6, they had 32 points for McDaniels, and Terrence Shannon had 24.
Oof.
So they picked up the slack from Anthony Edwards. But you're absolutely right. It's a huge disappointment for the Nuggets, former champions. I think one of the things they really did good was they limited Jamal Murray. They had him just not
They had him
shooting,
bottled up.
Yeah, he coughed up to it in the news conference too. He said it was my blame. We didn't win, and he's absolutely right. He did not show up, and I think it has a lot to do with the defense they put on him.
It was suffocating defense, man. And just look, I always say I'll be the first one to admit when I was wrong, and boy, I was wrong on this one. I was standing alone saying the Nuggets were going to get past OKC. The Nuggets were going to beat San Antonio first in the second round, and then get past OKC to go to the finals. If this were a March Madness bracket, my bracket is completely busted because the Celtics against the Nuggets is not happening at all.
On the bright side, Nikola can go do his race horsing, right? Horse racing,
Yes.
rather. He's looking forward to that, I'm sure. I saw the press conference. You kind of could tell he wasn't in it, and maybe they need to consider bringing in another player because, like I said, it's good to have Jamal Murray and him, but they need at least another reliable scorer for sure.
I mean, for a little while, Gordon was looking like he was gonna be that guy, but he's inconsistent. So yeah, they've got some questions of their own for the offseason. They've got to figure those things out because this might have been the last hurrah for this team because again, in the NBA, look, it's great to have players come up and outperform their contracts, but you always have to pay the piper, right? In the end, when they outperform their contracts, they end up needing those big contracts, demanding those big contracts.
Good as Nikola Jokic is. I mean, one of his weaknesses is defense. He's not as great as a rim protector, especially against guards and forwards that can drive to the bucket.
Mhm.
And I think we saw that with the way both McDaniel and Shannon Jr. were going to the rim. So that has something to do with it. They could use another center, power forward, someone to help him guard the paint because he's not as good as he is offensively on the defensive side, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right. I just thought in today's NBA that was good enough. I've definitely been of the mindset that offense wins championships in the 21st century NBA. But boy, oh boy, that was true. But it's just that Minnesota just conjured up offense that I never imagined they had. Especially after those losses, after losing your 3-and-D guy and the heart and soul of your offense. Just unfathomable what they were able to do. I just did not see that coming. Hey, Manny, we're at a break. I know we only had you for this segment. If you've got time, I would love to have you hang out after the break. If not,
I can stick around for sure.
All right, Manny, always coming through in the clutch. All right, friends, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and we're going to finish up the NBA conversation. But I really, really like that reference to Jokic and his horses because later on the spotlight, we are going to be talking Derby. What a crazy, crazy finish we had at the Kentucky Derby yesterday. So we'll talk all about that coming up in the upcoming segments. Right now, we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight with your host, Rizwan and Manny.
You are listening to Radio Azad on
KDXX
107.9 FM
HD4